Hey, great to see you. And yeah, we can all see these toxic systems that are crumbling, that are shaking. Or you may be seeing toxicity in your own ancestry for the first time. You may be seeing the fact that you're in a toxic relationship, that you're playing out something that you watched your own parents play out and their parents play out. You may be replicating at work a toxic system that you played out in childhood. It may be in your church or your religious system that you're seeing a toxic system clearly for what it is, and you want to step up and out. How do you do it? How do you go from toxic system into a new zip code of living? And I think that's what you may be confronted with, as am I right now, with everything in such a state of disarray, in such a state of upheaval. The first step is to trust that you're in the right place, to even be asking yourself these questions. You're taking the right step. Most have gone through life almost comatose, almost mummified, almost like a zombie, just going on, crossing the T's and dotting the I's because that's how we've been trained. But then you start to wake up and you start to know in your heart, you start to know in your mind, you start to know intuitively, this does not feel right any longer. I cannot be put down for my strengths. I can no longer hide my ability to shine. I can no longer hide to see truth in this relationship. That's the first step, to recognize, yeah, this doesn't feel good. I'm in a toxic system. And then you have to have the courage to surrender to a new way of being, which is terrifying. Change for a human being is terrifying. We've been trained into status quo. We've been trained into these things keep us safe. We've been trained into allegiance and obedience, to feel soothed and to feel assuaged. And it's time now. The earth is shaking, the foundations are shaking under our feet, that we need to shift. So the first step is the willingness and the understanding. And the second step is to start to recognize that voice inside of your heart, that clear, still voice that knows you need to be in a different place. You need to shift. You need to change. You need to stop down. You need to speak up and out and express yourself. And if it's not received, you need to make changes. And that's what is pushing you forward at this time. And that is your strength. And that is your truth. And that's why it may be so difficult and confusing. You may never have had to do this before. And again, go back to, how do you do it? Well, you admit it first and surrender and understand that this is a process, that you are here to have an experience, have many experiences, and some of them, quite frankly, are not pretty. But you're here to have that experience, and you have all these players that are playing out the roles perfectly to allow you to have this experience. They are supporting you so you can move through this experience and maybe drop some of the old programming and drop some of the belief systems that you've been trained into. Like, you can't rock the boat. You're not allowed to disagree. You're not allowed to stand up. You're not allowed to try it, whatever that may be. You're not allowed to experience pure joy. You're not allowed to have fun. You've got to color within the lines. Fluff that. And yes, I did say fluff that. You are a bright, beautiful, hope-filled, expansive, joyous being here having a human experience and allow yourself. You are capable to walk through the toxic system that you are faced with and trust it. Trust your intuition, trust your instincts. Many of us don't even realize we were raised in a toxic family system or that we're in a toxic relationship, playing out behavior that doesn't even belong to us. It may have gone back several generations in our family system, or we're in a toxic workplace and we are playing out scenarios that aren't in a human heart. So it's time to take a look. It's time to stand up. If you need some help, there's a free course on my website, susangold.us. It's called Signs of a Toxic Family. Just scroll down to the header, you'll find it. Just put in your email and you'll get the free course. It will give you some clarity. Even if you're not from a toxic family, it will give you some clarity on the toxic systems and the traits, how to identify it, tools for soothing, and how to move forward. You are not alone. We're seeing these toxic systems. We're seeing through the ruse. We're seeing the emperor has no clothes. We're seeing horrendous oddities. We're seeing horrific ceremonies played out in front of us in macabre ways, and we're just waking up to it. Stand up, feel your light, feel your value, and feel your worth, and surrender to move through the experience, to move through the process. These challenges are for your betterment. They're for soul evolution. They're for transformation. And you don't have to do it alone. So you're not crazy. You're waking up, and I applaud you. And you're here for purpose. So just a reminder, we're all in it together. It's a shaky time. Ground yourself, go outside with bare feet, no rubber soles, stand in the grass, feel it. Put your back up against a tree, take a walk, and don't look at the pavement. Look up at the sky. Nature will heal regardless. Feel the light, it's here. And I applaud you. We are breaking these toxic systems, and we will live in a new zip code, entirely new. It feels so different. You don't even realize the chains of confinement that you were living in, the systems that kept you in your seat, square, breathing shallowly. It's time to step in to your authenticity and your power and your grace, and you will feel the freedom. That's the choice. So, hope you found this helpful. If you did, like, comment, share, and if you're moved, subscribe. I think I'm going to be doing another hour long because it was really popular. So we'll be doing some questions and answers. If you have a question about toxic family systems, toxic systems in general, whether they're political, government, workplace, academia, just send them on in. I think we're going to be addressing a few of those questions in that hour long. And it's great to see you. Take good care, and please know we're in this together.